All right, looks like I'm live. Hello, everybody. I am MadMega, and this is Mega Man 4. I think we can get started here straight away. So let's see here. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Mega Man 4. This is probably my favorite Mega Man game. It's the one that I started with, for sure. I think it's awesome because it has some of my favorite features in Mega Man games, like the slide, which was added in Mega Man 3, but something that was added in this game that was not in Mega Man 3 is the Charge Mega Buster. And let me tell you, I love the Charge Mega Buster. It is one of my favorite things. And I think it's why I like Mega Man 4 so much, or at least it's one of the reasons why. But so, now, there are some drawbacks to the Charge. For example, when you charge, it lags the game. So what I'm doing right now, this is bad. I should stop. So we're gonna let that charge go. The game does not like to be changing the colors that Mega Man is, so it runs the game a little slower, unfortunately, when we charge. So we try not to do it unless we need to. And in all honesty, it's not really helpful too much in the individual stages. It's much more useful against a certain few bosses here. But we'll get to that in a second here. Also, a fun fact is that the Charge Buster will not charge unless you shoot. Like, you can't be in a slide and, say, hit B and it'll start charging, or in a screen transition you can't hit B and it'll charge. You actually have to have a shot come out of Mega Man's arm for the Charge Buster to engage. It's worth knowing because that makes it a little difficult to charge sometimes. But here's our first boss. This is Brightman. He just lots of good ideas, this guy, I'll tell you. But so the way that we fight him is we use our Charge Buster, which does 3 damage when it's fully charged, and we shoot him once with an uncharged shot, which does 7 damage to open the fight. We do that because Brightman will stop time at certain intervals, at half health, at 8 health, and at 4 health. By shooting him in the pattern that we do, we prevent him from doing any of his time stop shenanigans, and we can just burn right through him. And now we get his weapon, Flash Stopper, which then means that we get to go to Pharaoh Man. Pharaoh Man, there are 2 main routes for this game. The first one is Pharaoh Man first, and then you do Bright. Alternatively, you can do Bright first and then do Pharaoh. And the reason for that is I make a menu mistake, a mismenu, if you will. We do Brightman first, or I do Brightman first, because with the proper application of the Flash Stopper, very many sequences in this stage become very trivial. That jump is a little scary. I'm glad that I made it. So, you can see that no enemies are really spawning, I assure you. Without Flash Stopper, these regions are much more treacherous. But we get to avoid a lot of that with the use of Brightman's power. So that's a nice little feature we have here. So we've just picked up a utility item. That is the balloon. There are little balloons that we get to use as platforms. They're one of 2 utility weapons that exist in this game, and the other is Wire. Wire doesn't really have any use in the speedruns, so we don't get it. It's kind of too bad. It was one of my favorite things to do as a kid, was to pick up the Wire, because you'd be like, oh cool, I got the Wire, and you know, it restarted you in the stage that you pick it up, and you know, It just felt super cool to go find this secret thing hidden in the depths of the oceans. But it's useless now, so we don't go get it. Alright, so this is Pharaoh Man. His weakness is bright, but it's way slower to fight him with the Flash Stopper than it is to just use good old-fashioned Mega Buster. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do some charge shots here. Oh, got caught on the ledge. We're gonna try to goad him back into the center here. We want to kill the bosses as close to the center as we can. And of course, you know, trying to give him all the chances in the world. Because the exit fanfare will not play until all of the exploding orbs go off the screen. So, we luckily have finished that off. Unfortunately, got a bad placement of where Pharaoh Man died, but not the end of the world. Now to Ring Man. This is a tough stage. I think Ring Man is one of the tougher stages. It's routed pretty tightly from a health standpoint. You take quite a bit of intentional damage here, starting there, for example. But now you get to see some of the utility of the balloon. There's some pretty cool things that we'll see with it here. Kind of lucky I'm alive after that, honestly. Very rough climb there, I apologize. We'll try to be better for the rest of the stage. Luckily we didn't take much more damage than we typically do here. But now we get our first taste of what Pharaoh Man's weapon can do, and this is another pretty awesome weapon because of what... Oh, I guess I'm not going to get a charge shot there. That's okay. Still got it. Still got it. So here we charge this up, and we're going to try to deboost through this hippo again. Now, you can trigger a charge through a screen transition. However, the important part of this weapon's ability to charge is that you have to be walking at least briefly. So if you have very good sliding mechanics, like going into a room, it's very possible that you can not trigger a charge. We're going to backwards deboost through him. Not that might honestly not matter health-wise here. That might have been a pointless endeavor, but we're going to try to kill Ring Man here with one real hit we can take here. So, serious time. Not good, but honestly, that's not the end of the world, because we're just going to do that. So that was a really bad fight. We'll try to be better next time. Didn't get the center. Did not work, but that's okay. So we took out Ring Man. We're still alive. Still alive. So now we go to Dust Man. Now, largely we're going to do the enemies in boss weakness order. So Ring Man is the Ring Boomerang is Dust Man's weakness. So we're going to start off by switching over to Bright again and making all of this all about just basic platforming now. You wouldn't know it, but we actually prevented ourselves from having to deal with some enemies that pop up from underneath the ground there. They're very annoying. We don't like to deal with them. Oh, okay. Just don't feel the need to take any of those shots that surely were in your hitbox. I sure thought so, but that's okay. So now we switch over to Ring. So that was either a 1-up or an E-Tank. I'm not sure which one I'd prefer. So this is the Crusher section. We're going to try to do a one cycle... Well, we're going to try to cycle through this as quickly as we can. Got through there. Not quite perfect, but I think still just about the earliest cycle we can get through there. So we'll take that. We're just going to deboost through him. Hopefully have good movement. Okay, good movement, but we didn't need the good movement. You can actually slide under him if he does a small hop if your slides are chained well, but he did a big jump. It was unnecessary. So this is Dustman. He throws garbage at us. And hopefully... Oh, cool. Dustman did not suck today. He sometimes does. But not today. Not here. So that's nice. And there you saw Mega Man didn't jump. He just sort of teleported to the center of the screen, right? So that happens when you are perfectly aligned on the pixel that he would stand on before he jumps. There are 2 in each, depending upon which way Mega Man's facing, to the left or to the right. So 1 each. So now we go to Skullman. This is awesome music. There's some talk of the great music in Mega Man's 2 and 3 earlier, and while I do not disagree, this is an all-time banger in my opinion. This song is awesome. One of my favorites. Alright, so we're gonna just mostly slide under these shield enemies. I didn't quite do that right, but... So, one of the things that's cool about the balloon is that it will not quite... if you spawn it too close to a wall, it will not exist. But because of the way that it works, it's on... I think it's hitboxes in existence for a handful of frames. Plenty of frames to jump on it if you want to. So we use that to our advantage quite often because the balloons being on screen cause a fair amount of lag. So again, here we're using more of our flash stopper, and oof, just terrible movement on my part. Oh, that's okay. That's great. We're still here. Switch to Dustman. Again, we're doing most of this in boss weakness order. So, if things go correctly, Skullman should basically do everything I expect him to do. The only thing that's really up for question is whether or not he gives me a unfortunately long shield or not. That was okay. That was okay. Killed him like dead center. Good alignment. Teleport right out. Not too bad. So now we get his power, which is a skull barrier. Not super useful. I mean, we use it in some boss fights, but it's really not the greatest weapon, I don't think. It's a shield weapon, you know. You have to have one of those in a Mega Man game. So that's where this one comes from. Dive Man, another absolute banger. And switching over to, yep, you guessed it, more Flash Stopper. Oof, didn't quite make the slide there, that's okay. Haha! Timing wasn't quite right, but worked out alright. Worked out A-okay. A little slow and got a little whale action there. Well, that was fine. Well done. Let's see what Eddie's gonna give us. Some health, thank you. It hasn't been a great stage, so really do appreciate the health there. And I just give it right back. I'm generous that way. So now the water's changing heights, so now things are a little more complicated, but again, we can just stop all those stingrays in place. Oh my goodness, my jump mashing here is pretty heinous. Alright, so here's Skull. Not, you know, it's a shield, you know? It is what it is. So we kind of slide through here. You can't jump out of your slides underwater, so that's why you didn't see me doing quite as many slides as normal. But now we can go to Dive Man. And we're gonna try. There we go. Let's see if I can get this aligned correctly. Nope. Didn't do it. That's not too bad. So that's how many down? I think 6. 6 of our 8 robot masters. That's not too bad. So I should probably mention that we have a new bad guy now. Finally done with Dr. Wily. You know, we've had 3 games of that weirdo. It's nice to you know, get a new enemy. It's Dr. Cossack. It's this guy. I'm even wearing his shirt. I'm so excited that we have a new bad guy in Mega Man games. And he's the guy who created all of these robot masters that we're dealing with in this game. And so, you know, pretty excited about that. But this is Drill Man's stage. He's annoying. You know, he's kind of terrible, this Drill Man, because this is where the RNG heavy portion of the run, Drill Man can just really give you a rough go of it, and just take a lot of time, and you know, make what was a good run, you can make a bad one. So we're not generally fans of Drill Man here. So, unfortunately, we had a bad trigger, but we got through it. Oh, that's... Hey, look at that. Through those guys, we're just stopping time. Everywhere we go, we're just stopping time. Because nothing moves, and as long as I'm sliding, the timer doesn't count. So if you play this casually and you click the time stopper, and you're wondering why it doesn't last as long when you're playing casually, it's because the timer for it does not operate when you are sliding. So as long as you have good slide chaining, you can almost get your you can almost have your... Oh dear, we're getting dangerous here. Oh. That's okay. We have plenty of life, plenty of health. Well, plenty of lives with plenty of health. That's unfortunate. That shouldn't happen. I've had him do a lot of dives for me lately, and I think I'm just you know, a little too close to him, because I'm afraid that if I don't stay completely on top of him, he's just going to dive again, which he tends to do. Now look, you know, barely jumped at all. It's a killer, but that's okay. It's okay. Hey, we got a good pixel placement at least, so it's not all bad. Not all bad. Alright, so now we get the drill bomb and the rush jet adapter, which is pretty cool. We'll see some of that a little bit later. And now we go to Toadman stage. Shout out to Toadman. Shout out to all the awesome Toads I know. Alright, so it's a Robot Master stage. So that means we're gonna switch over to our Flash Stopper again. Now this rain is very, very strong. It's pushing us backwards, so we just need to get underground here. Now we're gonna take this a little cautious, because I was a little afraid of getting caught in some of those waterfalls. I don't want to fall and die, as we've already had that. So we're gonna skip some pretty big enemies there. Those usually you have to fight and they take a bit of damage. They're just, it's a long process. We don't want to deal with it, so we're just gonna stop time before they manage to teleport in and deboost right through them. their hitbox doesn't quite show up yet. So there we go, we're through there. Pickup drill again. This is our final enemy, or our final robot master, and our final weakness we'll have to use here. Now, Toadman does an undodgeable attack. However, as long as you shoot him, he won't ever actually trigger it. So we just make him dance. So he does a little dance, and that's the end of Toadman. All right. Not too bad. So now we get Toad's weapon that we didn't get to see what Toadman's weapon was. So now we get it though. It's called Rain Flushes. It's pretty cool. It will we'll get to see it later. It has some really neat properties, some things we'll take advantage of that save us some time. All right, so here we go. Dr. Cossack, there he is. Look at this awesome castle. This place is rad. Look at that, he's got gun emplacement, he's got some awesome turrets. This place is cool. So I'm excited. This is the bad guy. You know, this is the big bad of Mega Man 4. Alright, so I'm gonna let you in on a little Nintendo Power secret. That right there, free E-Tank. Always pick that up if you're ever in concern for your Mega Man's health and well-being. That is a great way to alleviate some of your concern. So here we go. Poor movement there, but that's... So we're gonna kill this skull guy. Oh boy. Oh heavens. This has not been good. But we're through it. Oh, that was very scary there for a minute. Not my finest bit of movement there, but we're alive. And Mega Man's still climbing, so we pull out our balloons. It's important to note, our energy does not refill between stages in the castle here, so if we use something and we die, we've got some problems for resource management, so it's something we have to consider. It's why I picked up that E-Tank at the beginning of the stage there, is that you never know. Sometimes bad things happen, and we're going to try to avoid them if we can. So this is Mothraia. Mothraia has a very tiny hitbox. It's that red circle there. And I am trying to hit it with the equally tiny hitbox on the ring boomerang. It's great. It's fun. Oh, warning for flashing. I should probably mention. I apologize. All of the bosses in the castles, there's a fair amount of flashing. So please be aware of that. Sorry, just realized it as it flashed at me. Luckily, the castle does not do it too much. But now we're on to the second castle stage. I'm going to try to do a pretty cool bit of jumping with the balloons here. Hopefully things work. Nope. If it works, you kind of jump through and you avoid those little spinny fellows, but no luck today on that one. So yeah, you could take Rush Jet there, but honestly, I prefer to just deboost with all these balloons. It's so much faster. And so we're using a lot of balloon energy. We're just about out of it, honestly. That's our last balloon. That's okay. Because we got to switch to Dust here, because Dust is actually the weakness of the boss of this stage. So this is known as this boss coming up is known as the Square Machine. We call him the Square Machine, or we call it the Square Machine, because it has 8 sides, which will never not bother me. So this is an 8-sided square. So there are a handful of patterns you can get. So you can get 3, 2, or 1. That's 2 3s, looks like, so get 3 and 3. You don't take damage by the middle portion, but the bottom portion will hurt you if it squishes you at either edge of the screen, so we have to avoid that. And that's the end of the square machine. Like I said, the 8-sided square. The mythical 8-sided square. Now we get to our auto-scroller, which, you know, as a speedrunner, I don't really love auto-scrollers, but at least the music is good. I love the music in this game. I love the music in this stage especially. It's just great. And it has some really, really pretty background, I think. It's just a really cool stage overall, as much as I'm not a fan of the auto-scroller aspect, but hey, you know what? Could be worse, right? So here we have we're mostly having to dodge things and just pay enough attention not to get hit by something and get killed, as happens occasionally in an auto-scroller because we're just kind of bored. Refill our ring. Gonna go over here, and I just want to point out this. Once you see slightly unhappy face and cloud, you can never unsee slightly unhappy face and cloud. So now, just know that there's a slightly unhappy face and cloud. And you'll see it all over now. Oh, so these are Saturns. I believe that these are Dr. Cossack's favorite robots. I think that because he put a ring on them. No? No? That's... I apologize. Terrible jokes. Those are the only ones I know, though, folks. I'm sorry. But so this is one of my favorite features of the Pharaoh shot, is we just charge it up and we just keep it above our heads like so. And we can just take out those 1 HP enemies like they're nothing. So we're gonna do an airborne moonwalk, because we're awesome. Oh no! We screwed it up, folks. That's okay. Well, that's unfortunate. We did not have the right fight. That's too bad. But those are the twin cockroaches. They're gone. And we use the fact that when you charge up the Pharaoh shot, even though it's above your head, if you do damage with it, it will disappear. However, you can still fire a fully charged shot. So that's a way that we save time. And in fact, that's the reason why the Pharaoh first route is actually slightly faster, is because you fight Brightman using that technique. So instead of only being able to charge 1 shot at a time, you're effectively able to charge 2. It is a significant time save, but it's also a lot more difficult when you could just freeze all your enemies in place. So, you know, I know which one I prefer. Let's switch over to Rush Coil. We don't have any balloons, so we have, see our first Rush sighting. Drill makes short work of those walls, which is nice, and we're going to take advantage of the drill bomb here a little bit. Take out these slinkies. We don't need to play with slinkies. So slide over these. And now this is we're getting pretty close to the end here. You know, this is where Dr. Cossack is. You know, and he's the big bad, like I said, you know, so I mean, I guess, you know, I'm excited. You know, it's been a pretty okay run. You know, had a little bit of trouble with Drill Man, but here's Dr. Cossack. Let's deal with him here. Give him some charge buster shots. You know. Now, I go over into the corner here because if you're in the corner, when you initiate a slide, it ends his momentum in a direction. Oh, well, that's the end of him. That's the end of him. Wait, what's going on here with this? Father's not really evil. Dr. Wily took her hostage. What? What is happening? Kalinka? But Wily! It's Dr. Wily again. It's always this guy. Every time. Every time. Look at this guy and his eyebrows. All right. No. Let's go deal with this guy. All right, I've had enough of this guy. I mean, it's a pretty cool castle, I gotta admit, though. Like, pretty scary looking. I'm not gonna lie. So this is the Mets level, and let's see. There's all kinds of Mets here. There's dancing Mets. There's jumping Mets. And we're gonna try to deal with all of them one at a time. So here now we're into some water Mets. Look at that, they got the nice little, they have their snorkels, which does them zero good, completely submerged, but you know what? They're robots, they don't know. You know, it's very much a industrial bathroom look to it with all the tile. I would agree. You know what would be really helpful here? Wire. Who knew? Who knew? Anyways, just pretend that didn't happen. Alright, so we're going to switch over to Ring. So Ring is this boss's weakness, and this is Mr. Met. Extra Met, Big Met. Alright. Not getting great luck here with these jumps here. Just short ones so far. Well, fine. Terrible. Metal Daddy. Alright. And as of April 30th, 2023, the Mets are eliminated. So, now to our second Dr. Wily stage, which is a little less bathroomy, let's call it that. A little more high-tech looking. Still a lot of spikes, though. Wily was really into spikes in Mega Man 4. I don't know what that's about. You have some more ladybug enemies. Switch over to Rush Jet here. Just go right on up. And say hi to Eddie. We're not going to go over to Eddie Flip Top. We really should be okay. I don't think we need anything from him. So what we're doing in some of this stage is we're actually spawning Rush in places so that it's advantageous to us, and so that he does not kind of get in the way and we are able to shoot. Because we're trying to minimize the amount of menus we use. The menu in Mega Man 4 is very slow. So the less we have to push it, the better. So there's this last candy dispenser here. We're gonna switch over to Toad. And remember what I told you about Toad having a pretty awesome weapon? Well, this is where it gets pretty cool. So as we jump into this room, I'm mashing B. So we just did our rain flush. It triggers damage on this boss, whose name is Taco Trash. Now, we hit him with the drill. He no longer has a hurt box. His hurt box is gone. So I can sit here and just jump inside of him, smack him with the ring in this weak point, and boom, there you go. Nice and easy. And the reason why we do the rain flush there is that it completely skips the energy fill animation for the boss, which is incredibly slow. So we get to skip that, which is nice. Alright, so now time for one of my favorite songs in any Mega Man game. I love the last handful of tracks in Mega Man 4. I think they're some of the best in the entire franchise. And we're gonna be a little extra cautious here. We're gonna grab some extra ammunition here. Fill up on dust and on ring, because they're helpful. Ah, just absolute banger tunes, I gotta say. So we're heading into our refights. The refights we do, we start with Pharaoh first, and you might be thinking to yourself, like, why is he using dust? Dust isn't his weakness. You're right, and but it is a soft weakness, so to speak. It does 2 damage, and his iframes do not last as long as if we were using a charge shot or his actual weakness. So this is actually the most efficient way to take care of him. Alright, slide through there. The teleporters in this game let you slide through them. That is a terrifying thing until you realize that. I was waiting for him to jump, and he never did. Now we switch over to Skull. So we're going to try to do as few menus as possible, and we're also trying to save ammunition for different fights in different ways. So we use that to take out Dive Man because that's his weakness, but Bright Man's soft weakness is Skull, so we're going to use that here. We're going to try to get 5 shots on him. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, and now we switch over to Bright Man's weakness. Now, if we had just attacked with Toad, we would end up 1 short because you have perfect ammunition for this. And you might see it's like, well, why don't you only hit him 1 fewer times? And it's the same reason as described earlier, is we're trying to avoid certain health levels so that he doesn't stop time. We have 1 Toad Rain Flush left. We're going to mash B here, and it does 1 hit point of damage against Drill Man, which is perfect because the dive missile does 3. Enemies have a total of 28 damage. 27 is how many 9 shots of dive will do. 27 points of damage, so that 1 extra hit might be what saves you from having to deal with an extra dive from Drill Man there. So here we see Toad Man again. We just gotta make sure he does not dance. No dancing. We're like the town from Footloose. And Toad Man is Kevin Bacon. There will be no dancing. Alright. Switch over to Pharaoh Man. Get Ring Man 1 more time. I'll take it. Could have been a little cleaner. And we save Dust for last. We save technically, Dive Man does drill. His secondary, his like attack, he will like corkscrew at you in the water. All right, so this has been a bad dust. Oh boy, just terrible timing on my part. But that ring is gonna follow me, and now we get to see a Dr. Wily machine. I apologize in advance for the most annoying sound in the universe. Okay, we're gonna stop with 1 HP left, and we're gonna fire a drill. Now, the drill does the damage. It does a ton of things, so let me explain them now that Dr. Wily is dead. It does the damage that triggers a second phase. It does 4 damage to that second phase, and also skips the energy fill animation. So when you hit him with the first drill after his energy bar has filled, you will do 8 damage with that first drill. I think I got it all. Yeah, a lot happens. Totally a lot of stuff happens. And now, final Wily coming up here. Alright, we're switching over to Pharaoh. Pharaoh is the weakness for the last boss here. And now, just revel in this awesome tune here. One more. Oh boy. That's it. Time. Dr. Wily, we got him this time. I'm tired of this guy. We got him. Shoutouts to the smiling computer standing just over to the right of Mega Man. Oh, wait. What? This guy, he gets away every time. Every time. That's okay. I think there's a few more of these games, and that's all right. I believe that's an IBM supercomputer for sure. All right, so that's Mega Man 4. We've got Mega Man 5 coming up, I believe, by the pot. So looking forward to that. That's exciting. My favorite explosion in Mega Man. And I will be back with Mega Man 6, so don't go anywhere. There's a bunch more coming, and it's super awesome, all of it. So I'll see everybody in 35-40 minutes. Don't go anywhere.